Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining Ask a Care Navigator, Mondays with Maureen. Hi there, I am Maureen Williams, and I'm the Director of Care Navigation here at Four Seasons, the care you trust, and we try to create this space on most Mondays to talk about issues associated with living well and aging well, and perhaps how Four Seasons may be of service. If you have any questions or comments, you can drop them into the comments box from whichever platform you're viewing, or you can call us. We like phone calls, and that's 866 466 9734. Or better yet, there's lots of information on our website, which is fourseasonscare.org. Please spell out the number four, Four, SEASONSCARE.org. That's how you reach us. And you can send an inquiry that way as well. And as always, I love to share my gratitude, our gratitude, for the Van Winkle Law Firm, who is serving as the title sponsor for Ask a Care Navigator, Mondays with Maureen. The Van Winkle Law Firm is one of the most well-respected and well-established law firms in North Carolina, providing exceptional legal representation to individuals, businesses, and families in personal matters, business matters, commercial matters, and estate planning matters. And that's particularly how I interface with the Van Winkle Law Firm. Should you want more information or to schedule a consultation, please go to their website, which is www.vwlawfirm.com. And I'm delighted today to share, I have a new friend, a new guest. This is Laura Mukosiej.
Yes.
I did it right.
You did great.
Laura, please tell us about you.
Yeah. So, hey, y'all. My name is Laura Mukosiej. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones right here in Hendersonville. I've been here for the past 7 years, and I really enjoy working with our community. And I'm just here to talk a little bit about what really comes up on a regular basis with our clients.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I want to thank Laura. She's on our plan giving committee with our foundation. We appreciate that. And Laura, I'm sure you might say this, but I'll say this also on her behalf. We're just sharing information today. This does not constitute financial advice, and she can say that disclaimer better than I. Because
Yes.
So talk to your own financial advisors.
Yeah.
Well, I love this presentation that Laura's kind of skinning down for us right now on how to outscam the scammers or outsmart the scammers. Mm-hmm. It's a big problem.
Yes.
We've talked about this on this program already. Laura, tell us what we need to know right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to outsmarting the scammers, so as y'all probably have a lot of experience with, unfortunately, because I know I do as well.
All the time.
Scammers are getting smarter every day. And I feel like we have to be very, very sharp when it comes to making sure that we protect ourselves, our family, and ultimately our assets as well.
Yes.
So I've got a couple of examples of what has been very, very common when it comes to things that I've seen with my clients as well as my own family from a scammer perspective. So I thought I would just give a couple of examples.
Yeah. Because none of us is immune. Not one of us is immune from these.
Right. Absolutely. So I know, so I recently had a full-scale seminar with the Henderson County Sheriff's Department, and that was wonderful. So if there's any interest in doing that in the future, y'all just let me know and we can do it again. But right now I'm just going to give you all a quick summary. So example number one, have you ever seen an email come in from an address you don't know? And it's someone maybe even from a foreign country that says, hey, I'm in love with you.
Oh, the sweetheart scams.
The sweetheart scams, mm-hmm. Yes. And maybe they're not that bold from the beginning, but it's somebody who wants to have a new friends. Maybe they want to date online. They send you pictures, but maybe they look a little bit too good. And then ultimately they finally say, hey, I'm in a financial pickle. Was wondering if you could send me $50. Maybe it starts small. And then as it turns out, that person isn't real. And all of a sudden, the money grows and grows and grows. I actually had my representative from the Sheriff's Department tell me that someone in Henderson County actually lost $100,000 from a scam like this, which is really scary. So I'm here to say, hey, when it comes to getting emails like that, make sure that you know exactly who this person is that you're talking to. Keep your family and your loved ones in the loop because they're going to be the ones to help take care of you. And if you have even just a little bit of an inkling of a suspicion that something is wrong, contact your own financial professional or even our law enforcement as well, and they can help you with that situation.
So, and when you contact law enforcement, you should just not necessarily call 911, but call in to speak to the sheriff's department, the police department,
the non-emergency
line. That's important.
Yeah, the non-emergency line.
And I loved, Laura, that you just said if you have a financial advisor, please, these people can help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is real. I've gotten those emails. It's usually from a prince.
Yes, exactly. I know, and I don't know any princes. I don't know about you, but yeah. Another example that I've personally had this happen to me on the phone is collection fraud. Ooh. So it's someone saying, "Hey, you're behind on a bill." I had, "Hey, you missed jury duty collection and you're being fined, or we're sending out a police car to come get you." And ultimately, they're letting you know that if you send them enough money, this problem goes away.
Yeah.
And that is fraud. That's a scam. So I know that when it comes to Henderson County, there's been scammers saying that they're from the sheriff's department or from the police department, saying that, "Hey, you owe money on something," and it's fraud. It's not real.
Yeah.
So when it comes to combating a situation like that, if it's a phone number you don't know, or if it's someone saying, "Hey, I'm from the police department," the best thing you can do is hang up and then actually call the police department from the number that you know. Because that way you can speak to someone who's from that organization and verify, "Hey, is this an actual problem?"
Right.
And then they can probably tell you if it's going to be fraud.
I want to tap into something Laura just said. So you were very specific, Laura. You said call the police phone number that you know. Mm-hmm. Don't call the phone number back that just called you.
Yep.
I think that's worth repeating.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Don't trust that phone number at all.
Don't trust that phone number because even then I know that there's like masking when it comes to phone numbers where people can just pull a random 828 number and it might look like it's local, but it's really not. Yes. So always try to find like what's the actual phone number for the organization that's trying to contact you.
Brilliant. Brilliant strategy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Let's keep outsmarting them, Laura.
All right. Let's keep going. Next one I feel like is always a little bit too good to be true, but it's notification that you've won the lottery and you've won a sweepstakes. I know a popular one is Publishers Clearinghouse. Sometimes I still see that happening. So it's someone contacting you, letting you know that you've won this sweepstakes, but in order to claim your earnings of lots of money, first you have to pay them. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Yeah. Anytime anyone says in order to receive this gift of money, you've got to pay them first, fraud. It's not real. Yeah, it's not real. So even in that example, so if you feel really passionate that you entered the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes and you think you won, contact them directly. Don't just take a random phone call that's saying you won.
No.
Yeah. Call them back.
That's kind of like the same principle of calling the police. Call the numbers you know.
Call the numbers you know. Absolutely.
This happens so much. This happens to anybody of any age, but particularly our seniors.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then next up would be an imposter scam. And I think this goes hand in hand with a grandparent scam as well. So I'll kind of combine those examples too. So when it comes to advancements in technology, so specifically with AI, artificial intelligence, everyone's probably seen those photos on the internet that look a little too good to be true. I know I see ones that look like famous people or perhaps even like animals or family members, and it's getting really, really hard to discern what's real and what's not. So it's really important to understand if you have a loved one that's calling you saying, "Hey, I'm in trouble, I need money," think about what's the likelihood of that being a real situation. I know that there was a situation, this is me again relaying a story from the sheriff's department, but there was a resident here locally that had a phone call that they thought was from their granddaughter, and they could hear their granddaughter crying in the background, very scary, asking for thousands of dollars to get them out of trouble. And as it turns out, it was AI. It wasn't even real. So what the resident did was actually call the granddaughter and verify that she was safe. But in that situation, something that I've set up with my family and something that I recommend with my clients is to set up some type of code word that only you and your family will know. So then if you're in that situation and you need to determine like, okay, is this my granddaughter that's on the other side of the phone?
Right.
What's the code word?
So you can literally ask that.
Yeah.
That's outsmarting. I love that.
Yeah. So that's outsmarting the scammer because AI isn't going to know what did you verbally determine with your family.
Code word. I love that idea.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love that idea.
Yeah. So those are my top scenarios that I think I see on a regular basis for my clients as well as out in the community. And y'all have probably seen that as well. Now, the other thing that I wanted to touch on too is the biggest thing that can help is not only leaning on law enforcement and your family, but also your personal financial professional.
Yes.
So, when it comes to how I work with my clients in Edward Jones, I am right here in Henderson County. So, I do work with people face to face. So, make sure that when it comes to your finances and your hard earned assets, you're not just talking to a 1-800 number. You do have someone local in your community that you can pick up and call and say, hey, I've got this problem. I'm not really sure what to do. Myself, as well as my administrator, Kate, we take those calls all the time. So having that person in your back pocket to have your back, I think is very important in times like this.
So suppose I'm new to the community or wherever I live, and I need that face-to-face is important to help them avoid scammers and stuff. What advice would we give to people to vet someone to help protect them, particularly if they've had trouble in the past?
Yeah. So if someone is like, if someone's looking for a professional to work with.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a financial professional to help you manage your assets and build that relationship, I do recommend having at first just a meet and greet conversation, just like this. So like what type of feelings do you get from working with this person? Are they open to meeting with you in person? I think that's a big deal because there's so many people who would prefer to just talk on the phone or virtually. And I think face-to-face conversation is really important. Also making sure that folks are transparent with what's the cost of business. I'm very transparent with my clients as far as what is the cost of working with me and with Edward Jones.
Right.
But ultimately just having that small town business mentality of, hey, we've got your back and we're right here for you.
I love what Laura said a few moments ago. That's what made me ask this, is just don't trust that 800 number all the time, particularly if you need some new relationships. Meet someone, meet a person. The scammers are getting too savvy. You're wanting to outsmart them. Meet the person. So I hear this sadly too often as well. Laura, I work with a lot of aged clients. We're all aging, but work with aged clients, some of whom are really embarrassed that they succumb to this. If someone feels that they have succumbed to a scam and they're almost too embarrassed to say anything, what advice would you give either the adult children watching or someone who may have succumbed to? What advice would you give? It's happened. What now?
So the best thing you can do if you're in a situation where you've lost money to a scammer is you have to let law enforcement know.
Okay.
I know typically if it's one of my clients, and typically I can help intercept at that point. Edward Jones also has a fraud department, to where that department can speak with me and my client to help intercept it before it happens. But if you're in a situation where the fraud's already happened, you've already lost that money, now it's a crime. So that's where we really want to get law enforcement involved, because typically once the money has left, it's very difficult to trace it and find out how to get it back. So prevention is really key. But hey, please don't feel embarrassed if you're that person that's happened to. It's happened to a lot of people. I even had a phone call a few weeks ago where I had the police department calling me saying, hey, you missed jury duty. You need to come by and pay a fine. And I believed it. And I'm the person teaching this. And it took me a minute because the person was very convincing and very angry on the phone. And I called the police department and they let me know that it was a scam. It wasn't real.
Wow.
So it happens to everybody. Yes.
Wow. So, and I particularly run into clients of certain generations older than I that are very embarrassed, very, very embarrassed, but it's becoming all too common.
Very common.
Speak up. If you think you're being scammed like Laura did, or if you have been, speak up. There may be a way to stop the situation, as she mentioned. Wow. What other good ways do you have any other thoughts on how to outsmart these bad people?
Just have people you trust in your corner. Some other things that come to mind is when it comes to your technology, making sure that you're not clicking on links that you don't recognize. I think a lot of folks, especially in y'all's population, do have email, as well as working on the internet. And I know that here at our work, we have to make sure that we go through email training. So like if we get a link that says it's from Amazon, hover your cursor over the link. Is it really from Amazon, or is it an email or a web address you don't recognize?
Yeah.
So that can be a way that someone's trying to scam you as well.
That's a good one to know.
Yeah.
We're doing that at Four Seasons as well.
Yeah.
So if it sounds too good to be true, it's not.
Yep.
Beware of people from foreign countries who need lots of money in relationships.
Who are asking you for money.
Yeah, and don't fall for the sweetheart scam or the you're going to go to jail scam.
And then if you have a family member or a loved one that calls panicking and that they need thousands of dollars because they're in trouble. Code word, and then try to call back that family member directly to verify the story.
These are great ways to outsmart the scammers. I love it.
Yeah.
Any parting words you want for us?
Well, I think from I'm so glad that I was able to speak today. Thanks for coming by.
Oh, of course.
Great. Yeah.
Well, I want Laura to tell us about her business, and we do have her information behind us, which makes it easier if you wish to reach her. But tell us about your work, Laura.
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, I'm a financial advisor here in Hendersonville. So my office is local. We're on Haywood Road, right across from the State Employees Credit Union and Joey's Bagels. We like to get there a lot. Yeah, I know. So I like to work with folks. Speaking more so to your population, we have a lot of folks who move to the area and they're looking for someone local who can help consolidate their assets and then also help communicate to their families. So one of my favorite things to do is to have a family meeting where we can, even if it's on Zoom because your family lives across the United States or the world. Or it could be local, just to make sure everyone's on the same page. But the most common question I get is, what do I do with my IRA? What do I do with my RMD? Specific questions. So if you're looking for some organization and someone to help you tie all the loose ends together, that's one of my favorite things to do.
Oh, I love that. You're talking the language of a hospice nurse here too. Get the family meeting. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, if you all want to talk to Laura further about the work that she does, her phone number's on the screen here. And we're just so grateful, A, that you joined me today for this, and B, that you help support Four Seasons Foundation. So thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Aren't we blessed here?
Yeah.
Well, if you have any questions about anything that Four Seasons does, please call us 866-466-9734 or go to our webpage, which is fourseasonscare.org. This episode is airing on May the 18th. And so next Monday will be Memorial Day. So we'll skip next Monday. But in the meantime, we're grateful for you and thank you for joining us. Thank you, Laura.
Thanks, Maureen.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye, all.
Bye.